Sources of energy. There are two main sources of energy. They are conventional and non-conventional sources of energy. Conventional sources of energy are wood, flowing water and fossil fuels, that is coal, petroleum and natural gas. Non-conventional sources of energy are solar energy, wind energy, biomass energy and ocean energy, that is tidal energy, wave energy and ocean thermal energy, and geothermal energy and nuclear energy. Some sources of energy are renewable like the sun, wind, flowing water, ocean, wood and biomass. Some sources of energy are non-renewable like the coal, petroleum and natural gas. Thermal power plants. The heat energy produced by burning fossil fuels like coal, petroleum or natural gas is used to heat water and change it into steam, which rotates the turbines of generators to produce electricity. Let us demonstrate the thermal plant. How does it work? Take a table tennis ball and make 3 slits into it. Put semicircular fins cut out of a metal sheet into these slits. Pivot the tennis ball on an axle through its center with a straight metal wire fixed on a rigid support. Ensure that the tennis ball rotates freely around the axle. Now connect a cycle dynamo to this. Connect a bulb in series. Direct a jet of water or steam produced in a pressure cooker at the fins. What do you observe? This is our turbine for generating electricity. The simplest turbines have one moving part and a rotor blade. The moving fluid acts on the blades to spin them and impart energy to the rotor. Thus we see that basically we need to move the fan, the rotor blade, with speed which would turn the shaft of the dynamo and convert the mechanical energy into electrical energy. In order to produce hydroelectricity, high-raised dams are constructed on the river to obstruct the flow of water and thereby collect water in larger reservoirs. The water level rises, and in this process the kinetic energy of the flowing water gets transformed into potential energy. The water from the high level in the dam is carried through pipes to the turbine at the bottom of the dam. The water from the dam flows down through pipes and rotates the turbines of generators to produce electricity. This electricity supply is used for various purposes. Advantages. Flowing water is a renewable source of energy. The electricity produced does not cause pollution. The water stored in dams can also be used to control floods and for irrigation. Disadvantages. The initial cost is high. Large areas of land get submerged and the decomposition of vegetation produces methane gas, which is a greenhouse gas. It causes displacement of people from large areas of land. Solar energy. Solar energy is the energy obtained from the sun in the form of heat and light. The heat energy is used in the solar heating devices like the solar cooker, solar water heater and solar furnaces. The light energy is used in solar cells. The box-type solar cooker has an insulated box painted black inside. It is covered by a glass plate which allows heat to enter inside but does not allow heat to escape out. It has a mirror to reflect more sunlight into the box. The food to be cooked is kept in containers inside the box. It can produce a temperature of 100 to 140 degrees Celsius. A solar water heater has an insulated box painted black inside with a system of copper tubes. It is covered with a glass plate which allows the heat to enter inside but does not allow heat to escape out. When water flows through the copper tube, it absorbs heat and becomes hot. Solar cell is a device which converts the solar energy into electrical energy. Solar cells are made from semiconductors like silicon, germanium and gallium. A single solar cell produces a voltage of 0.5 to 1 volt and produces about 0.7 watt electricity. Many solar cells are arranged in a solar panel to produce more electricity. Advantages. It uses renewable source of energy. It produces electricity which does not cause pollution. It can be used in remote areas where there is no power supply. Disadvantages: it uses a special grade of silicon which is expensive. Since silver is used for connecting the cells together, it is more expensive. The current produced is DC, and to convert it to AC further increases the cost. Energy from the sea. Energy from the sea is obtained in three different forms. They are tidal energy, sea wave energy, and ocean thermal energy. Tidal energy. The periodic rise and fall of sea level due to the gravitational attraction of moon causes tides. A dam is constructed at a narrow opening between the land and sea. The movement of water during high tide and low tide can be used to rotate the turbines of generators to produce electricity. Sea wave energy. When strong wind blows over the sea, it produces huge waves. The kinetic energy of the moving waves can be used to rotate the turbines of generators to produce electricity. Ocean thermal energy. There is a temperature difference between the warm surface water and the cold water at the bottom of the oceans. This difference is about 20 degrees Celsius. The warm surface water is used to boil liquid ammonia, and the vapor is used to rotate the turbines of generators to produce electricity. The cold water from the bottom is then pumped up to cool the vapor back to liquid. Geothermal energy. The deeper regions of the Earth's crust is very hot. This heat melts the rocks and forms magma. The magma moves up and collects below at some places called the hot spots. The underground water in contact with the hot spot gets heated into steam at high pressure. By drilling holes into the hot spots, the steam coming out can be used to rotate turbines of generators to produce electricity. Biomass energy. The waste materials and the dead parts of living things are called biomass. For example, wood, animal dung, vegetable waste, agricultural waste, and sewage. Biomass is decomposed by anaerobic microorganisms to produce biogas. Biogas is a mixture of gases containing methane, carbon dioxide, hydrogen, and hydrogen sulfide. The biogas plant has a large underground tank made of bricks and cement. The lower part is the digester, and the upper part has a dome with a gas outlet. On one side of the tank above the ground is a mixing tank, and on the other side is an overflow tank. Animal dung is mixed with water in the mixing tank, and the slurry is sent into the digester. In the digester, the slurry is decomposed by anaerobic microorganisms, and after a few days, biogas is produced. The gas is taken out through the gas outlet and used for heating and lighting purposes. The slurry left behind is rich in nitrogen and phosphorus and is used as manure for crops. Nuclear energy. Nuclear energy is the energy released during nuclear reactions. Nuclear reactions are of two types. They are nuclear fission and nuclear fusion. Nuclear fission. Nuclear fission is a nuclear reaction in which the nucleus of a heavy atom like uranium and plutonium splits into smaller nuclei with the release of a large amount of energy. It is used to make atom bombs and to produce electricity. In a nuclear power plant, the heat energy produced by a controlled nuclear fission chain reaction is used to produce steam, which rotates the turbines of generators to produce electricity. Nuclear fusion. Nuclear fusion is a nuclear reaction in which small nuclei fuse together to form a heavier nucleus with the release of a very large amount of energy. The energy of sun is produced by the fusion of hydrogen nuclei to form helium nucleus. It is also used to make the hydrogen bomb. Wind energy. Wind energy is used in windmills, which converts the kinetic energy of the wind into mechanical or electrical energy. The kinetic energy of wind can be used to do mechanical work like lifting water from wells or grinding grains in flour mills. It can also be used to rotate the turbines of generators to produce electricity. A single windmill produces only a small amount of electricity. So, a large number of windmills in a large area are coupled together to produce more electricity in wind energy farms. Advantages: it is a renewable source of energy. It does not cause pollution. The recurring cost is less. Disadvantages: wind is not available at all times. It requires a large area of land. A minimum wind speed of 15 km per hour is required. Fossil fuels. Fossil fuels are the fuels formed inside the earth from the remains of the plants and animals after millions of years. The fossil fuels are coal, petroleum and natural gas. Fossil fuels are non-renewable sources of energy, so they should be conserved and used judiciously. Disadvantages of fossil fuels. Burning of fossil fuels release gases and harmful particles, which causes air pollution. Burning of fossil fuels release acidic oxides of sulfur and nitrogen, which causes acid rain that is harmful for living organisms, affects soil and water, causes damage to the buildings and corrosion of metals. Burning of fossil fuels releases a large amount of carbon dioxide gas, which increases the temperature of the atmosphere and causes global warming, that is greenhouse effect.